Morning, good morning, good morning. We are here again on Saturday morning. Get some of these little notes out of the way. Just wait a few moments. I'm always hyper aware that we are getting connected correctly so that everyone can hear, everyone can see okay, everyone can get settled before we begin. Today, you are going to still need some type of cushion, rolled up blanket, gardening mat cushion thing, anything that you really have access to that will give yourself just a little bit of lift so that we're doing the meditation. You're really have a little bit of support to get some more expansion inside of your body, get that lift throughout the spine so that it's not causing any discomfort when you're trying to breathe. So today we are talking about the theme of reclaiming your power. And we're going to break that down a little bit because I've been seeing on social media and going around the interwebs some of these different catchphrases like let your light shine and, reclaim your power, stepping into your power, all of these different things for Leo season. And I want to break that down a little bit more so that we can make the connection of how yoga allows us to tap into that and to cultivate that and to really have the awareness of where we're at. Are we in balance? Are we leaning a little bit excessive? Are we feeling a little bit deficient in that area? And knowing that it's always a sliding scale. So it's not good or bad either way. It just is what it is. But if we're doing this practice, if we're making the time to check in with our body, check in with our mind, check in with our spirit, it's a lot easier to do those temperature checks and know where we're at before it begins to be a problem, to where it's affecting our relationships, it's affecting our goals that maybe we have set for ourselves. So I'd already give the warning that for Leo season, we're going to be working on solar plexus chakra, working on that navel center. In Sanskrit, it is pronounced Manipura. So that is the solar plexus chakra, and it translates to lustrous gem. So when people say, let yourself shine, shine bright like a diamond, that is where it's coming from. Manipura is lustrous gem. It's kind of like a Care Bear stare or something is how I like to think of it. It shines out from that area. It's your willpower. It's your autonomy. It's you taking control and acting on the ways that you identify with self. Your desires, your values, your moral, your character. Am I acting in consistency with that or not? And we call it the power because if we look at the body and we look at the chakra system and how it's set up, that is our core. You hear people talking about focusing on asana or focusing on physical exercises that we do to build the core, build that strength. It's because all of our movements really hinged on that being strong and allowing us to move and flex and bend without overcompensating in other areas. If you look at our origins of how we were born, how we came to be, when we were in our mother's womb, we were connected by, it escapes me, the umbilical cord. And it goes from our mother to our navel center. And it provides us with all of our nourishment, all of our power. And when we are birthed into the world, that connection is disconnected. And now it's our job to get that power from within ourselves. So thinking about the things that are nourishing you lately, thinking about the things that you are consuming lately. And I don't mean just food or physical things, but the content that you are consuming, the media that you are consuming, the relationships and conversations in your life, the books that you're reading, the music you listen to. This all hangs around in the body and gives us messages, some that we're aware of, some that we're unaware of. And so if we are taking the time to mindfully and consciously choose the things that we're consuming, one, that gives us a little bit more autonomy over how we act based on all of this information that we're processing and we're sitting with. And it also gives us the opportunity to do that in an alignment with ourselves. So we have a full moon coming up in a few days on Monday in Aquarius. In Aquarius, we talk a lot in yoga that we're in the age of Aquarius, where we have this great responsibility to help transform from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius. And Aquarius is very much about the collective. It's very much about moving from away from a time where it used to be, hey, knowledge is power. And whoever had access to knowledge, whoever had access to a formal education, sort of as we would describe it, those people held the power. But in the Aquarian age, it's more of the collective. It's more of whoever has the experience has the power. And I want to tie that back to our autonomy here, because when we can feel deficient in that area, it can be because we've got someone that's sort of authoritarian, or other people in our lives that we're getting these messages of like either not good enough, or there's only this strict one way to do a thing. And we may be stuck because we fear shame, we fear humiliation, we fear exposure of a thing that is outside what all of these messages are that we've been receiving. On the other hand, we may feel totally open to act and do things and go about our day, but maybe we are the ones that are being overbearing. Maybe we are the ones that are being controlling and not allowing space for others in our lives to be autonomous. So it's some interesting things to think about today, about our own willpower, about your relationship to your will, your relationship to your autonomy, how you're personally feeling about letting yourself be exposed to the world. And in Leo season, we talk about that exposure. We talk about that vulnerability really being where the strength comes from. We're stepping into a time where we can say, rather than have my defenses up or have these old coping mechanisms, I'm using my vulnerability as a way to connect. I'm using my vulnerability as a way to put myself out there and see how that can contribute to the collective, see how that can contribute to me being more firm and having a better foundation in my own willpower, my own autonomy. So we're going to work on that today. We're going to go back to one of my favorites, which is Nabi Kriya. You're still saved from doing Breath of Fire today, but we will be working with navel point, with the core very much. So we'll want to let the breath coming from there, because that's also how we nourish ourselves, getting that deep belly breathing, allowing the oxygen to fill the system, noticing how it inhabits the body. We're really going to focus on allowing that breath to help to move through some of these movements today, and noticing where, if there are movements, because we'll do quite a bit of leg lifts today. When you notice yourself feeling stuck, anchor back to your breath and allow that to help power your movement. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. We will collect ourselves, do a bit of grounding before we tune in with the Adi mantra. So take a moment now to come to a seated cross-legged position. Close your eyes. Bring that gaze inward and upward at the third eye, at the brow point. And begin to focus on the breath here. Breathing consciously, inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhaling consciously through the nose. Pushing all of the air out. Being mindful now of the flow, the rhythm, the fluidity of the breath, moving from inhale to exhale and repeating all over again. Noticing the sound of your breath. Maybe it sounds like wind. Maybe it sounds like the ocean to you. Maybe it sounds like something completely altogether. Noticing how the breath inhabits the body. And along the way, doing a bit of a mental scan to notice where you may be hanging on to a bit of tension in the body. And also celebrating where you may already feel quite a bit of expansion and weightlessness. Taking one more moment to show yourself some love and gratitude for taking the time today to connect to yourself, mind, body, spirit, to listen to what it is that your body would like to tell you. Taking a moment away from all of your responsibilities, your roles, your identities, and making time just to return to your truth. To who you are when you're not performing. With your next inhale, bring the shoulders up, down, and back so that they sit just a little lower than before. From here, begin to rub the hands together briskly at your heart center. Create a little bit of heat, friction, activating energy. We'll use this energy to solidify any intention or mantra that you'd like to set for today's practice. We're focused on reclaiming your power, your will, your right to be autonomous in this lifetime. Thinking about how your autonomy better serves the collective. How important representation is for all of us. When you have that phrase or that one word that visual image, that color, however it appears to you. Take a moment to find stillness at heart center, pressing the palms together just slightly. Feel the knuckles of the thumb against your chest. Gaze is still at the third eye. Chin slightly down and back. And now we take a moment to tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Calling on your guides, your ancestors, your higher power. Recognizing that this infinite wisdom exists in the cosmos, but it also exists within you. Allow this wisdom to transform yourself today. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Apply Mulban. So squeeze the anal sphincter, the sex organs. Pull that energy upward through the central channel of the body. Visualize that energy spiraling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Purifying you, cleansing you, balancing the chakras. And before it's uncomfortable, exhale through the nose. Let the arms come down, either to the tops of the knees in your favorite mudra or touching the ground if you feel you need a little bit more grounding energy. And just take a moment here, keeping that gaze inward and upward at the third eye to witness the space that you've created. Just by breathing through the belly, just by projecting your own voice. Where have you already created expansion and movement? And where are you still hanging on to a bit of tension? Maybe some of this tension will be moved today. Maybe some of it isn't quite ready yet, and that's okay. So when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Allow yourself to stay on your mat. You can come off of whatever cushion you may have had supporting you a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of warm-ups. Just to loosen up the hips, loosen up the spine a little bit, get that flexibility going. So let your hands come to the tops of the knees, and we're going to rotate the heart around the base of the spine, keeping the chest lifted. You can rotate in any direction you like. We're going to inhale as we move forward, exhale as we move back. Again, using the breath to anchor yourself through all of these movements today. Your next exhale, take a moment to pause, and then you can rotate in the opposite direction. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. Being really gentle with this flexibility here, not moving too far past your edge. You don't want to strain or tweak anything in the back here. Just being really mindful of what your core can support. Very good. Okay, slowly begin to make your circle smaller and smaller until you find a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Bring the hands to the shins for a bit of spinal flex. So we are going to flex forward from that lower spine on the inhale, roll back on the exhale. So keeping the chest lifted throughout, keeping that chin slightly down and back. Really just feeling that movement here in the hips and the lower spine. My teacher on my top refers to this as riding the camel. So if that visual helps you make it a bit more fluid, feel free to use that. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Again, using the breath to anchor you here. Very good. Inhale forward. Exhale, neutral. Let your arms come to the tops of the shoulders now, keeping the elbows parallel to the ground. Fingers in front, thumbs in back. Using the core to support the rib cage here, we're going to do a small twist. So staying grounded through this lower area, but twisting from the hips. The rib cage. Moving towards the left as we inhale, right on the exhale. Feeling that rib cage open a little bit, working on the chest, working on the back body where the shoulder blades sit. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, the hands come down. Again, either to the tops of the knees or the ground, depending on what you feel you need. My favorite mudra that I'm returning to today will be Surya Mudra, since we're working with the Manipura chakra as well as solar plexus. So that's going to be the ring finger to the thumb. And that enhances vitality, which is everything that we want when we're thinking about our autonomy, our willpower, our self-identity. Take a moment to just witness the space that you've created. You begin to experience quite a bit of mental chatter. Again, return to the breath. Focus on the sounds of the inhale and the exhale. Let it wash away that cycle of never-ending thoughts. From here, begin to rotate the neck. We're going to do neck rolls. So letting the nose guide you here. Pretend that you are drawing a circle with the end of your nose. Again, using the breath to inhale as we rotate up. Exhale as you rotate down. On the next exhale, take a moment to pause and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Focusing on this being a slow, intentional, smooth movement. Slowly begin to make your circles smaller and smaller until you reach a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Very good. So we will get ready for the Kriya now. Like I said, we're going to be doing quite a bit of leg lifts today. Focusing on how you can do those leg lifts, again, by supporting yourself from your core, supporting yourself from that solar plexus chakra, focusing in on if you are engaging the navel point. So if you, almost like when you're exhaling, if you pull that belly button, if you pull that navel center just in and up a little bit, you'll feel what it's like to engage that and let that power your leg lifts. Before I began Kundalini, if I would do any of these physical exercises just in my daily life, or even sometimes now, if I'm not really being intentional and paying attention, I have a habit of when I should be using my core to support me, when I should be using my will, I try to just take it all on with my back instead. I try to make my back support everything. I try to think that my heart and my love will overpower anything and can break through anything. But you really need that core and that willpower to support too. So I tell you that story just to be mindful of where in your body you may be tensing, you may be trying to get yourself to support these movements rather than using your core. Where can you ease that tension? Where can you redirect your support system so that we're bringing it into the core today? So allow yourself to come lying down onto your back. And we are going to, can put the hands underneath the bum or underneath the hips if you need to, for a little bit more stability. Otherwise, you can just keep them at your sides. The legs are going to stay down. And we'll do alternate leg lifts. So we are going to inhale, bring the right leg up towards 90 degrees. If you need a little bend in the knee, totally okay if the hamstrings are going to be tight. And then exhale, bring them down. Then on the inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, bring the left leg down. If you notice that your lower back is not connecting to the ground, that's where we need the awareness to kick in. We want the navel point engaged. We want the lower back rounded into the ground to help support these movements here. You can also imagine that the movement is coming from the hips rather than feeling that the weight is at the end of the foot. So I'll leave you here to be in your thoughts, to be with your body. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Good, we're about halfway. Keep checking in. Let yourself be anchored by your breath. Mindful that your head is resting softly against the ground. Very good. Okay, inhale deeply. Bring both legs up to 90 degrees. Exhale. Keep them lifted. What we'll do here is we are lowering both the legs down, if you can, all the way down to the ground and then back up towards 90 degrees. The most important thing is, though, that we are being mindful, again, of the navel point of the lower back. So today, what I invite you to do is let the perfectionism leave your mind. Let the idealism of the perfect expression of this posture just fall away and focus on yourself. And when you start to notice that you are getting a bit of tension or that back is rolling up, let the legs come back up. So focus on only your range of motion based on the strength of your navel point here. Now, the hands will also be raised here. So that makes it a little bit more tricky. But just be mindful, again, if you need to bend to the knees, if you have those tight hamstrings, work with wherever you are at today. So again, we exhale as we lower. Inhale as we bring the legs back up to 90 degrees. You're doing great. We're almost there. Okay, inhale again, both legs up towards 90 degrees. Exhale, with the knees come into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Relax the muscles on the face. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. We are just going to get a little rest in here. So keep hugging. Allow the breath to regulate. Feel the energy moving through the body. First two movements that we did focus on the lower digestive area. This little knee hug here works on any type of bloating and gas, so you may experience some release of that sort today. Totally natural. We definitely don't want to keep that inside. Again, when we're feeling stuck, how can we get these things to move outward? We're a little more than halfway in this rest. If you haven't already, find a way to relax and settle a little deeper into this. Okay, so we worked on the upper digestive tract, worked on eliminating any gas. It also helps to relax the heart in this motion. What we're going to do next is work on the magnetic field. So what we will do on the inhale is allow the arms to come out to the sides on the ground as the legs extend out at about a 60-degree angle. Again, keeping that navel point engaged, keeping that lower back on the ground, and then exhaling as you come back in. So inhaling, let that come out. On the exhale, we're coming back in. Focus on making this a fluid and graceful movement here. So the 60-degree angle here, we often talk about Kundalini being a science of angles. This puts just the right amount of pressure on the navel point at this angle to try to get it to open, to try to get the navel point really to release its own tension that it's carrying. Very good. Last round. So inhale out, exhale. Bring those knees back into the chest. This time, let the right foot come down onto the ground, keeping that left leg tucked in. We will do leg lifts, but this time we're going to try to be a little bit more rapid with it. So see how you can keep the navel engaged, but we're focusing on a quicker movement here. So inhaling, bringing the right leg up, exhale, bringing it down. This is going to help to set the hips. We're only here for 1 minute. And let the breath power you through this one. Very good. Inhale, bring that right leg all the way up. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Let the left leg come down now. And begin the same motion with the left leg. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Very good. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side here. Give that lower back a little bit of a massage. And from here, we're going to come to standing. So up to you to find the most comfortable way to do that. You can always rock and roll along the spine a few times, at least 3 times, to come into seated and then push yourself up. You can always just roll over to one side, push yourself up with the hands. But we are going to be standing for this last part, doing a bit of forward bends. So for this one, very important that when we stand up and we raise our arms up, we're going to flex the palms so they're coming all the way back. We're holding onto a tray of something. And we're just going to do forward bends. So let your feet spread as wide as your hips. Let the hands come up so that we're flexing, arms against the side of the ears. As we bend, let yourself hinge from the hips, coming down, keeping the arms near the head. Slow and graceful movement here. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Keep a little bend in the knee if you need it. Focus on grounding through all 4 corners of the feet. Maybe even using a little bit of yogi toes to grip the ground. These forward bends, we're working on the health of our spinal fluid, allowing all of those feel-good hormones that we're secreting to travel up the spine, travel up into the brain. Make our nerves healthier so we can have a strong nervous system. Okay, on the final minute of this, we're going to increase the speed so that we're moving a bit more rapidly. Use that core, engage that navel point to support yourself here. Still inhaling up, exhaling down. Keeping the eyes open, being very mindful. Don't move so fast that you are making yourself dizzy. Just move at your own pace for this. Whatever rapid means to you today. Very good. Inhale up. Stretch, 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 stretch. Shake it all out. Come down. Back onto your mat. Allow yourself to rest just for a moment. Let the breath regulate. Bring that gaze inward and upward. Check in with your space. Maybe set an energy lock with your favorite mudra. Very good. Okay, when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Bring yourself now onto your blanket, meditation cushion, whatever you would like to help to support you today during your meditation. Pull the fleshy parts out from underneath the bum. Connect to that space. Take a moment to focus on your meditative posture. So being rooted through the hips, being rooted through the areas that are connected to the ground, maybe the side of your foot, maybe the side of your leg, your ankle, and allowing where you're rooted to really base all the way up to the crown of the head, almost as if someone was pulling a string. Letting the chest be lifted, making the chin be slightly down and back. Keeping the gaze at the third eye. Today, we will return back to a favorite of long Ekon cars. This one is really good for resetting any habits, rebalancing the nervous system. And we will use Surya Mudra. So let the ring finger touch the thumb here. We are tuning into vitality, tuning into our own willpower, our own autonomy, our own lustrous gem that we would like to shine today. The mantra is Ek Omkar, Sat Nam, Siri, Wahe Guru. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And now come lying down onto your back for deep relaxation. So allow your feet to spread wide as your mat. We'll be using a blanket today to get comfy, but if you generated quite a bit of heat today, that might not be what you are planning. So let your feet spread as wide as your mat. Let your arms fall away from the sides of your body, palms facing up. Let the shoulders come down away from the ears. And as you begin to relax your breath, allow yourself to sink deeper into your support. Relax the tops of your feet. The ankles, calves and knees. Relax the thighs, the hips. As you relax the breath, relax the belly. Relax the lower back. The rib cage, shoulder blades, all as you melt deeper into the ground. Relax your hands, relax the elbows. Again, relax the shoulders, making sure they're away from the ears. Relax the neck. Relax the muscles on the face. Relax the jaw so there's space between the teeth. The eyes behind the eyelids. Brow, forehead, scalp are all at ease as your head rests gently against the ground. Allow yourself now the important task of rest as your body integrates all the work that you've put in today, allowing it to circulate and heal your 3 trillion plus cells. Slowly begin to deepen your breath as you return back to your body in this moment in time and space. Begin to invite tiny movements into your fingertips and toes. Begin to rotate the hands around the wrists and the feet, around the ankles in all directions. On your next inhale, bring the feet together, bring the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Just like you're waking up in the morning. On that exhale, bring the knees back into the chest. Give yourself that familiar hug. Rock from side to side. Giving the kidneys and the adrenal glands a little massage. And from here, begin to rub together the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Briskly rub the tongue along the roof of your mouth, stimulating the body's meridian points and energy centers. And from here, find your way back to seated. So again, you can roll a few times along the spine to come to seated, or simply turn yourself over to one side. Reconnecting now to that meditative posture, taking a moment to reconnect with your intention for today's practice. And now that we have put in the work, it's time to pay it forward by singing the Long Time Sunshine Song. So think in your mind's eye, again, any last minute peace or blessings you'd like to send to yourself, any peace and blessings you'd like to send out to everyone you know or everyone you have yet to meet. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to sing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Nam. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be holistically connected, mind, body, spirit. May we remember that our power already lies within us, at the seat of the Manipura, illustrious gem. May we project that out to the world for the betterment of our community. Satnam. Satnam, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Stay tuned for the rest of Leo season. We will continue to work on the Manipuri, work on the navel center to tap into our power so that we can more courageously put ourselves out into the world. Take care.